Hey everybody, Rick here with Game Trade Media. We're coming to you with the first look at Overlight, the RPG by Renegade Game Studios. All right. Well, I guess we go get Norma then.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
All right, so back to the golden pool you go. You make some mentions to the big fellow at the door that you're there to see Yesher, and you're ready to wait outside for a little bit, but then finally he comes out with Yorba sort of wrapped up in some traveling robes, and Yesher looks very very serious for a moment, and he says, thank you again for helping me. I will endeavor to make it feel as though you're welcome here at all times, and I can help in any way upon your return. Although I've made my place, I've made this place my home. Yorba should not be forced to grow up among the desperation that is so common to these streets. Yellow to me has become like the color of my jaundiced eyes that I see in the mirror every morning, and I yearn for the violet peaks of Zenith.
Now, looking at Norba, does she have that telltale skybound?
No,
skyborn
she's
look?
not skyborn. Nope.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I forgot to ask if this was like all-inclusive, everything on a nickel and dime the whole way. Like, you guys want food? Oh, no, that's you didn't get the full service package.
We better be getting a continental breakfast.
Yeah,
I think it's
continental.
it's assumed when you book passage.
Yeah,
that you're-
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Bowl of gruel and some hardtack every day.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the quality of the food might not be
Yeah.
to my standards.
Sure.
It's a new boat though, so
It's a new boat.
yeah,
That's right.
airship. Sorry.
so we let them know that the airship, we are going to be booking passes for news purposes, if anything should come back, or so you can keep a track on where...
Oh, sure. You let him know that you're on board the Cloud Dancer.
And it's under the Captain
Zeno
Verena.
Yeah. Okay. So Norba, for her part, is sort of shy and quiet, at least to start. She doesn't know who these four unusual folk are who have come to collect her and take her off to parts unknown to her ancestral home. But you get on board the Cloud Dancer, without incident. You guys, is there anything unusual that you wanted to sort of stock up on the way? But again, to Scott's point, like it's sort of assumed that you'll be, you'll be well fed or whatever.
Probably take
or at least fed.
some more, getting some more bark paper and writing quills, because I feel like this young lady, as we are on our way to Zenith, will want to have some.
Sure,
some
you got.
I'm going to
plenty
give
of
her
that
some
sort of thing.
education
Yep.
on certain things, like the Scrolls of Telek and the Arts of Diplomacy.
Some young adult literature for her to read.
Yeah, not Harry Potter.
No. Maybe like Sweet Valley High or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Horrible.
So I think we should
Put
probably.
a cloak on her or something.
Yeah. She's got a hood as part of
Okay.
her.
I was going to say we should probably introduce ourselves.
Sure, absolutely.
To Norba. Right?
Yeah.
Norba. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's a great idea.
right, like her dad's basically just hey, go with these strangers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh. Well, thank you. Yes. Oh. So
I mean, you're paying for this, so you might as well just see it.
Oh, that's true. All right.
Right.
If you put it that way. So, Norba, I'm Naya, and my friends and I will be escorting you to your new home.
It's nice to meet you.
Okay.
Well, she seems very polite. You seem like a very polite young woman. I happen to be Zoctli. I can't even pronounce my name, and I'm so excited to be able to tutor you in the Scrolls of Telek. Have you ever heard of the Telek, the Wise?
No.
Master in the Arts of Diplomacy?
No.
Oh, you're going to enjoy this trip very much. We'll have a great time.
It'll be fun.
We are going to be best friends. My little sapling, come on. And I just put my little tree branchy arms around her and I squish her. 'Cause I'm very,
Okay.
Dang it.
I can tell that she is nervous and I really want her to be at ease and I'm way overdoing it because I still have to prove that I'm a tree person.
Give me an inspiration roll.
I am not inspired. So 3 10s and my spirit die, and then I don't have anything, so it's just a 6.
And a single 6, yeah.
Big money.
Doesn't look horrible.
No.
It's 2 successes.
Yeah.
And then a 4.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay, so 2 successes is enough for that next level. But what the 4 does is it does give you a point of spirit, so you can add a point to your spirit pool.
Yay!
So that's all in pen. So just like sort of make some notes next to it. Okay, all right. So she seems
I get the pencil.
comforted by the strange leafy furry thing that's sort of wrapping its arms around her and escorting her on the boat.
So comforting.
So she seems to relax a little bit after the after the furry animal like lets her leaves her on board. So okay.
I'm Davka. If anything freaks you out, let me know.
There you go.
I have no idea what you could be talking about.
Right.
Few words. Best that way though.
Right. Okay. So what happens next is a journey of no short length. I mean, it is probably equivalent to about 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow.
I mean, it is. I mean, you are moving. You're going, three continents away, even though you're flying in a sky ship. It is quite the journey. While along the open sky and the unfiltered overlight against your skin is sort of a stark contrast to the choked streets of Hark, and it's nice, especially for the Pyroi, to feel as out and about in the world and beneath the open sky again is refreshing. There are a few times when from the deck of the ship you can see strange beasts off in the distance, like huge winged things flying through the clouds or gliding on leathery skin flaps. As you get up and around Quill, there's all sorts of birds and even Terexians that you can see in the distance, sort of flying amongst the scattered remains of what was the great continent of Quill.
These are all great opportunities for history lessons and ecology lessons to not just my companions, but also to.
I assume Norba gets a lot of sleep on this trip.
She does, yeah. Why don't you make me? What do we want to do there? So why don't we do? We could do inspiration, or you could even do science if you wanted.
I like science.
You seem to be focused. You want to do science?
I like science.
Okay, all right. So you're focusing more on like the ecology lessons and things like that. Okay, all right. So maybe a science roll. But we're gonna make it a science compassion roll instead of a science logic roll.
Okay.
Are there any other passengers?
There aren't any passengers that appear to be just along for the ride. It seems like most of the folks are crew.
Okay.
But there does seem to be some cargo.
All right, so I got 2 successes and a 4, so it doesn't matter.
That's a 5. That's not a 6.
It's always. Oh, is it a? Dang it!
Yeah, man.
It's math.
Good thing you're teaching science to the kid.
Right. Exactly.
So that's 1 success, but you got the 4 on the spirit die, so that flares it up to a basic success.
But do I lose anything on that one if I flare up on that?
No, because that basically because it was an odd number of rolls with a 4 on the spirit die, it flares for free.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could spend a point to flare.
Okay.
But yeah, so you flared for free because you made the.
Maybe I was distracted a little bit by the my con.
So what is your goal here? And as you spend a fair amount of your time teaching Norba.
I want Norba to not just see the passage as just from A to B. I want it to be an opportunity for her to take in more of the world that she's a part of, so that she can be feel more connected to the world.
Okay.
And by showing her that life springs eternal everywhere, and just kind of just giving her those experiences through knowledge.
Okay, so it sort of seems like you're trying to sort of reestablish her hope about the future.
Yeah, absolutely. That whole compassion thing that I seem to be stuck in when it's logic that I'm a part of.
Right. All right. So once you're a little once you're past Quill and you're on your way to Zenith, the winds do get almost frightening at times. As you get there's sort of some strange weather patterns that occur between the steamy jungles of Quill and the winds that kind of whip around the mountains up near Zenith. And you assume you must be, the equivalent of a few days away from your journey, and things are getting a little hairy with the wind. And Captain Farina, for his part, says, I've heard stories about these storms, but I didn't expect them to be quite so intense. This is not what I was anticipating. This seems very unusual for this part of the cycle.
That is very comforting.
Well, I also feel like this would be about the time we want to actually disclose the location of where we actually need to go.
Sure. Naya, make me a perception roll.
Uh-oh. Perception.
Yeah, perception and wisdom. So it's up top there in the purples.
Got it. Yep.
So many dice. It's beautiful.
That looks good.
Yeah.
And a 4.
And a 4.
How many successes?
2 successes and a 4.
Two total or 4 total?
Four.
So
Four
four
total,
successes
yeah,
and a 4.
yeah.
Okay, so
2 levels.
you can add a point of spirit,
Right?
because you rolled a 4, and
Yep.
you were already at an even amount. So that's a radiant success. So
I'm radiant.
so you well, I had you roll because you were the one that was a little seemed most concerned about this fellow's
Abilities.
or his experience. And you think he's a little fearful,
Okay.
and not and maybe not quite up to the task of what's in front of him.
So, Captain Zeno, how many times have you flown near Zenith?
At least once or sometimes we've
Or
I've spent a
sometimes.
lot of time. I've spent a lot of time in and around Quill. I didn't expect.
Have you ever been this close before?
Not as captain, no.
Oh.
No. As first mate, yes.
I see. And we're 3 days away.
Yeah. So you're flying.
Right.
You're nearing the edge of Zenith, and,
Right.
and
It's kind of off in the horizon. We
yeah,
can kind
yeah.
of see
And you
it.
pulled out the maps and things, and you're trying to find exactly where you need to be to get to the
Temple of Shining Grotto.
The Temple of the Shining Grotto. Yeah.
Maybe there's somebody on your crew who has more.
So there's crew members sort of scattered, running around trying to do various things. You can kind of hear there's a strange humming from below decks as the overlight engine sort of kicks into higher gear, if you will.
good.
So I think it would be best if Norba spent some time below deck.
Oh, okay. All right.
And, well,
Might be the
that's not a
safest
bad
place
idea.
for-
But and I also think that because of my ability to navigate the winds and the wind shears as a creature who flies, maybe I can be of some assistance in navigating
Sure,
these
okay.
wind shears.
All right.
So,
So you want to send Norba down with Algier?
yes.
So okay. So you go ahead and make a Windlore check with just straight Windlore with logic.
All right.
So you've never flown an airship before, because why would you need to?
Oh, I wouldn't need to, but I
how different
You're trying to
could
get
it
a
be?
read. You're just trying to get a read on
how
the.
different, how different could it be?
You read a book once, right?
I've read a book
Of
once. I
course,
mean,
I've read a book.
If all else fails, can
Here we go, big money.
exactly carry Norba?
no, he's not
Okay.
that strong.
Okay.
Although, since you asked, there is a chroma power that enables you to have the Trexine can take that allows crazy stamina or what have you.
So I have
for,
3 successes and a 3.
Okay, so that's a luminous success. You may, if you wish, spend a point of spirit to kick
And
it
I
over
will.
to spirit flared. Okay.
Yeah.
So that takes you over to a radiant success. Okay, so you're trying to get sort of just trying to get a read on the weather patterns, and the way that the way the ship is interacting with that, and you go down to the navigator and you're sort of helping out with the navigator and
Yeah, and of course, I'm going to pull out a scroll on the whole the wind ratios between Quill and that. Obviously I carry these things.
Right, yeah,
Logically,
yeah.
I would have
Sure,
this information. And say during this time of the cycle, this is when the winds are most heavy from the leeward side of.
Right. Okay. All right. Absolutely. All right. So what are you doing to help keep Norma calm down below decks?
We are. I am retelling her the actual story of the Banyari because I assume that everything he said was wrong.
Sure, that's a safe assumption. Yeah, yeah. The Terexan viewpoint of the Minyari is a little skewed.
And I'm going to tell her all about the grove of trees that I guard, and I'm going to show her my hearthwood nut, and tell her that one day I'm going to make a new forest. And I'm just talking to keep her occupied and to keep me from not wanting to throw up because this is some really rough sky.
Okay, all right, okay. And how about the rest of the, so Naya and Davka, you doing anything in particular?
I'm going to stay on deck and just be around in
Sure.
case. I'm pretty sure that I can keep my footing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just be a strong person around to move stuff and help out as everybody around.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
just take up space for a while.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just keeping my eyes and ears open.
Okay. All right. So the next, equivalent of a couple days or so, as you're traveling across the Zenith landscape, it is, it comes and goes. Like it's never calm sailing or flying, if you will. But Zockli's efforts with the navigator seem to have helped in some way.
Yeah, duh.
And
God, don't let him know.
yeah, right. Yeah. But the winds are still pretty vicious. And
How's our captain doing? Does he look more settled or just as unsure?
he's a little white knuckled at times, but he seems a bit calmer now that the navigator seems to feel better about the proceedings with Zockli's help.
Okay.
But he's nervous, maybe, but has control of his ship and his crew, but he's nervous.
Okay.
And you're probably pretty close to your destination when the wind becomes as fierce as it's ever been, and there's quite a bit of sort of rocking of the ship back and forth, and it's whipping. If you think of the worst turbulence you've ever been in an airplane,
This was Reno last week.
Reno last week, yeah. And there's a great whining that's sort of coming from below decks where the Overlight engine is, as it's trying to compensate for whatever it is that's going on as the ship is sort of bucking and trembling back and forth.
So at this point, also we've revealed to him that we're going to the temple.
Yes.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
So we're kind of on track.
Yeah, you're headed in the proper direction to work the temple.
Does the whining seem just out of place, or is it just like indicative of an engine going through that type of terminals would
It sounds like an engine that's sort of going into overdrive, but
Okay.
you're not terribly familiar with that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So it's much like when you're on a plane, like some of the noises you're like, oh sure, that's the noises the plane makes, but then sometimes something changes or the pitch changes and there's just a little part of you that's like, is that normal? Is that supposed to be making that sound?
Good or bad?
Yeah. But some of the crew members do seem distressed.
How does Zeno look?
Distressed.
Distressed?
Yeah. He's sort of running about like he's not sure, like quite what he wants to do. He's sending his crew to various spots to check on this, that, or the other, but he seems worried.
Should we investigate the Overlight engine?
do you know anything about engines?
I
Sure,
have.
is it-
I
sure
am somewhat in tune with machinery.
Zockli,
Yeah, there's a machinery skill.
yeah.
Okay.
He's read a book.
I have
Yeah,
read.
I mean-
I've actually written a book on small devices and things of that nature. Is the
Okay.
title.
Small devices and things of that
Okay.
nature. A primer.
A follow up to Things That Flap, your first work.
Right.
You're staying by Norba's side.
Oh yeah, I'm not
Okay.
going anywhere.
All right.
Do we want to delay our approach to Zenith?
So you're over Zenith now.
Okay.
You sort of as you're kind of descended through the first layer of clouds.
Oh.
But given the mountains and stuff, you're still have quite a bit of altitude.
Okay.
But depending on the cloud cover, you can kind of make out the brilliance of the overlay.
But we're
reflecting off the
over
snow.
Zenith then. Okay.
Oh yeah,
so,
you're over
so-
Zenith. Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Hey,
I'm about going down and checking out
Yeah.
the engine. See if
Okay.
there's any
yeah,
assistance that we
I'll
can provide
I'll
there.
stay on the deck.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna go down and check out the engine.
Yeah.
All right. So the Overlight engine is something that you're only passingly familiar with. I mean, it's quite large. I mean, it's
Sure.
probably larger than the size of this whole room, even though the ship is relatively small. And it sort of looks like a cross between almost like an orrery, like the like an astrolabe. Astrolabe, is that the right word? Anyway, where the sort of these semicircular, semi-spherical structures are kind of spinning around one another, but there are also these points on these arms that have small crystals on them, and the crystals are reflecting light off of one another in complicated patterns.
Okay.
And there's a number of Aramel crew members down there, hastily fiddling with knobs and sort of adjusting these apertures and things to let the light reflect in different ways.
And what are they using to collect the light, the overlight, to power this?
So there are mirrors that are used to sort of pull through some of these kind of channels in the hull of the ship, but there seems to be something not dissimilar from some kind of battery that has the overlight stored in it.
Okay. But I can't tell, based on my limited knowledge, if there truly is a malfunction with the engine.
You can make a machinery roll, but yeah, I mean, this is the exact nature of how the Overlight engine works. Is sort of it's sort of a closely guarded secret of the Verena house of Vale.
Okay.
That's not awful. Is it 3?
Yep, 3.
3. Okay. So
and I could spend one to
you
pop
could
it
spend
up.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So it seemed like you sort of sit and study it for a while, and it does seem as though some of the reflected light is missing its targets, as some of these crystals on arms are spinning around this increasingly fast spinning of the various parts. Like it seems like there are some misfires happening, and the light isn't quite connecting where it needs to go. So it does look precarious, but you're not really sure what you would do to fix it.
What I would do with that information is I would just relay it to who seems to be the chief engineer.
So there's a fellow there with a brass, this solid brass mask that has a bit of a crest like going back over the top of his head, who seems to be the fellow that's in charge.
Good sir, you seem to be the fellow who is in charge, as he just said. Do you notice that there seems to be a misfire at this location, that location, and X, Y, and Z?
We've noticed some irregularities. We're working on it. Wait, what was the last thing you said? Where?
Z.
Oh. Okay.
We'll label that one Z.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Is there anything I can do to help you with this?
I don't think so.
Is there a knob or a twist or a dial?
Oh, please don't touch anything. Please don't touch anything.
I don't touch anything.
Okay. Do you stay in the room and stay out of the way?
I stay in the room, stay out of the way, just in case.
Okay.
I can jump in and save the day, as I am wont to do.
So there's a strange sort of wavering pitch as the Overlight engine is going through its whatever it is going through. A bit of a high pitched hum, and then sort of drops down a little bit. And there's 3 workers in there that are trying to manage the thing, and you can't quite shake the sense that the thing is a little off kilter. Like something.
Yeah, it's bothering me.
Something bad is going on.
Yeah.
Right. So what are the rest of you doing? Anything particular? You're just hanging out with Norma, making sure that she's not losing her mind?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on the deck, just kind of keeping an eye on the captain, making sure he doesn't totally lose it.
Okay, all right.
And
Yeah, me too.
yeah,
Okay, so the ship is still continuing to buck and bounce about. Zockley, make me an intuition roll.
Okay. So because of my intuition, I have no intuition.
Okay.
I get 1d6, right?
Correct.
And then my 3d10 plus
Correct.
the
Correct. Plus the spirit die. Yep.
All right.
That's not awful.
2 successes.
Okay. The pitch of the engine is changing enough that you're sort of trying to pay attention to what's going on, and you get the distinct impression that she's going to blow.
I don't like that at all. Well, what can I do? What can one do to prevent such a hazard? I mean,
was there a book? that you
I'm
read?
trying to recall.
Isn't there a
I'm using-
safety manual somewhere prominently
I'm trying to
displayed?
utilize my instant recall from the knowledge that I have gleaned off all the scrolls and documents of my studies.
The Chirexians were learned in many things, but the construction of overlight engines and
Yes.
airships was not one of them.
But I'm wondering if increased energy through the overlight battery might assist in stabilizing this, because maybe it's just not being able to pull enough overlight proper.
So go ahead and make me machinery roll.
Okay.
D10s and D6s?
D10s and D6s. Yeah, this should be okay. I say that, but let's go legendary.
Nope.
All right. So
So 2. So
Yeah.
so luminous success. Maybe like you'd think if there was more power, but you can't begin to guess how you would put more energy. Like you don't have enough understanding of overlight engines to understand how.
but I
how
have
you
enough
would fix
understanding of tomfoolery. And tomfoolery can get us through the day. Remember that, Norba? If you hear this.
From where I am, what does it look like? Is this we're being impacted by the wind around us? Is this environmental, or is this a problem unique to us?
So it is absolutely environmental.
Okay.
But now you get a sense of a sort of deep trembling within the ship itself. So the environmental, the windstorm, as it were, was the beginning of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But now it seems that it's caused some sort of malfunction within the ship, and you don't like the way the ship is vibrating.
And how far are we from the temple at this point?
It's hard to say without having the map in front of you.
Okay. Can I see it from where we are?
No, you just see
it's that-
mountains.
just see mountains.
Yeah.
So this would be like if there's mountains on either side of us, the wind shear that would naturally occur coming through a mountain pass. That
It's
could
probably
be-
yeah. So there's a windstorm occurring, and it's just being exacerbated by the mountainous terrain.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So when I say
So you said that
tomfoolery-
the ship is trembling at this point?
Correct.
All right.
Shouldn't we be landing?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say call Zocli and Dobka and Algier, and we need to. What are the safety? I assume there was a briefing when we got on this boat. Where they had some sort of lifeboat drill.
Yes.
So,
There was not a lifeboat drill.
there was no lifeboat drill.
no,
There's
so-
no OSHA, no.
I deeply regret our decision then. Yeah, I'm gonna call everybody up to the deck.
Okay.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Because I was about to put my hands on that battery. Save my life.
Need a new alternator. Just
So everybody gets up to the deck.
Yeah.
So this doesn't seem to be going well.
And it seems like you're slowly losing altitude.
Oh, okay.
all right. Well, slowly. That's
Well,
good.
I mean, you're slowly losing altitude, but the ship is still moving at a.
Okay.
At a
So is the captain on the deck?
you can't find the captain right now.
Can't find.
Yeah.
So who's driving the boat?
So that's in a
Little pilot house.
yeah,
sort of
little
thing?
pilot house thing. Yeah, he's in there.
To the pilot house we go then.
Yeah, I think we need to tell him it's probably time to stop fighting and land.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So you go in there, and he's he's there at the controls of this thing while his navigator is like hastily flipping through. It looks like he can't find the papers that he's looking for or whatever. So it's very, very, very busy right now. It's not the best time for visitors.
So I think it's probably time to land, Captain. I don't think we're gonna make it.
We everything's under control. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
doesn't feel fine.
No, it doesn't. Everything. We'll make it through.
Well, I tell you, I just came from the engine room, and things aren't fine down there.
That's a restricted area. You should not be in the engine room.
I was in the engine room. You're fine with this.
You're not a Jedi. Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chroma him.
Okay. What are you gonna?
I am going to chroma him with the...
So chroma's not a verb, but you can use it that way if you want. So you want to use word of authority.
I do want to use word of
Okay, you want
authority.
to use word of authority on him. So word of authority allows you to use a single word command.
Yes, land.
Land. Okay. All right. So we're using word of authority on the captain.
It is
So you have so word of authority has 2 virtues associated with it:
logic and will.
logic and will. All right. So you're gonna roll those plus the spirit die.
So I get 6d10 and my spirit die. I want to make sure those are all right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and a 1.
3. Okay. So it will only cost you 1 to channel the chroma, but for an extra chroma, you could kick it over to the second
And I
level
will.
of success.
I will.
All right, so it costs you a total of 2.
All right. Which is on my spirit pool, right?
Out of your spirit pool. Yep.
Yep.
And then for everybody else's benefit here, read the description of.
Radiant.
Right.
I make an open test, persuasion versus mental, and if I succeed, the target will comply with my commands in the most simple of terms.
Okay. So, and this isn't like, a way for the game master to find loopholes in your wish or anything like that. It's just it's quite literal. So the way open tests work is you make a skill check, and then all that matters is the single highest value that you've rolled.
Okay.
Right, and then your target will make a test, and NPCs and monsters, for the record, just have physical dice and mental dice.
Okay.
And they're not necessarily 7 dice. It can be any number of things. And,
Okay.
and then whoever has the highest number succeeds at the test. Ties always go to the player. So you're making
A persuasion,
persuasion versus
mental.
All right, so you're rolling.
a d6.
Well, but
plus
remember,
3.
you also get your virtue.
All right,
So you're rolling 46 basically. And you still get to roll a spirit die, but the only thing a spirit die does for you in an open test is that if you roll a 4, you add 1 to your result.
Okay.
So the single highest value is what you're attempting to do here.
All right, so a 6.
So a 6. So that's not awful. So this fellow is gonna get his mental dice. And
Sounds
if he
like
rolls,
1,000 back there. I heard 'em.
what's that?
1,000 dice were rolled.
Okay, so it does not appear to work. You say, you reach out one of your talons and you say land.
Land.
And he says, I'm working on it, man. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be just fine. We're slowly coming down closer. It'll be fine.
He just looks out the window and points and is like, yes, it is.
As the mountains come flying up at us.
Yeah, let's get out of his way, because, unless you know how to fly a ship, we're just going to be in the way.
It sounds right.
All right.
I've done all I can.
And for the record, there's and I don't mean to push you in one direction or the other, but just so it's clear, there's nothing stopping you from attempting that again.
Right.
Although if you were to continue to say the same word to him over and over again, he might wonder what the hell was going on. But.
Right. I'm not going to attempt it again because my spirit pool is draining quickly.
Sure, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Unless somebody else has a.
His
something
will
that
to
they can do.
survive is, I guess, as every bit as prescient as ours, so let's get out of his way.
Okay, so the ship is rapidly now getting closer, and you can start making out more details of some of the mountaintops that you pass over, or maybe even some caravans down in the snow beneath you, as the ship is getting lower and lower, and it is with a soul-breaking crack that you hear from within the bowels of the ship, followed by the rumbles of what must be an explosion that sends your senses reeling as the whole world is sort of turned upside down and you're sent careening towards the snow below.
Well, they are. Whoa.